Oh man, it's the grab bag.
I don't know why, but last night I was talking to my daughter about one of my favorite video game franchises called Dragon Quest. And I remember the first time I played Dragon Quest, um, or as it was better known here in the States as Dragon Warrior. Um, I remember going down into my grandparents' creepy basement to go play the Nintendo in the little room that they had because they had a very huge basement in their old house, and it was extremely creepy. But they had a Nintendo, and they had Castlevania 3, Dragon Warrior, and then they had a couple of just absolutely trash games like caveman games. But I went down there to play Dragon Warrior, and I also went to play Castlevania. Of course, I was not very good at Castlevania, but anyways, that's not here or there. The main thing was Dragon Warrior was there, and I played through and beat that game. And it was my first experience with RPGs that, you know, I was really shaped by. It made me fall in love with the genre. And I just love the whole being a hero, going on a quest to save the world. And I have played since then every single Dragon Quest main series game, except for Dragon Quest X that didn't come out in the States. Um, and I remember when I got to get Dragon Quest VII. And there used to be this store, we called it Ames, and it was kind of like, I don't know if you've ever had a Marshalls or anything like that. It was mostly a clothing store, but they had little things here and there that weren't clothing at all. And they had a small video game section, and in there, towards the end of the life cycle of this store, they had it up for sale, like a bunch of stuff like really marked down. And I found a copy of Dragon Quest VII, and that game was just out of this world. And playing it on the PlayStation and getting through to the end, I love that game. In fact, it is my favorite Dragon Quest game of the entire series. Um, and the story of it is basically God and the devil got into a battle, and it seems like God was killed. And the devil him also seemed to have been killed, but he had destroyed the world. And you stumble across this ancient ruin, and in it there's these tables, and you find a couple of these map pieces that you can put together. But when you do, you get sent back in time to one of these islands that got destroyed, and you set things right and save this island, and then it appears in the modern day. And it had this time travel aspect. You had to go to these islands in the past and in the present, and then everything was leading up to defeating, the Dark Lord. And I loved it. It was an incredible game. Um, Dragon Quest VIII, I remember being more hyped for that than Final Fantasy XII. A lot of people bought Dragon Quest VIII so they could get their hands on the Final Fantasy XII demo, but I wanted Dragon Quest VIII because that game, I love the series, and this was a fully huge 3D world, and it's considered by many to be one of the best. Usually, how it goes is Dragon Quest V or Dragon Quest VIII. Some people will say 9, and now that 11's come out, 11 are the best ones. And they do a lot of different things that really made the quality of life just incredible. So I'm pretty excited for whenever Dragon Quest 12 comes around. And I don't know, I was just thinking about it, being the hero of light to defeat the Dark Lord and all this, and just some of those tropes. And of course, Akira Toriyama doing the artwork and everything is just a lot of good time was spent with that game series. And a lot of games were inspired because of it. I mean, it was the first RPG for, I think the Nintendo, unless I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure it was. And it set things up for that style that even to this day still carries on. Um, and it's just a lot of good fun.